lizards. A lot of them are not much bigger than the size of my hand. So this is actually the largest species of skink on the planet. These guys are pretty big and they can reach closer to 2 feet long when they are fully grown. So chorizo here is a pretty decent size for an adult. Now in the wild, these guys are found closer to Indonesia and Australia. And out in the wild, there are lots and lots of predators that want to eat these guys. So they have some pretty cool adaptations that help them to survive. Now looking at those teeny tiny legs, but knowing how many predators want to eat him, do you guys think that our friend here is really fast or really slow?
Fast.
Fast, I like that answer. Do you guys want to find out how fast he can go?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Don't blink because you guys might miss it. Stay in your seats. Here we go. All right, buddy. 3, 2, 1, blast off!
Aww.
I know you guys are amazed at how fast he is. All right, so maybe they're not a fast type of lizard, but we still have this species. They are still found out in the wild, which means even though they don't move a lot faster than this, predators still aren't eating all of them. So what do you guys think are some adaptations that these guys are using instead of speed to get away from predators? Do you guys have any ideas? Yeah, go for it. Camouflage, that's an excellent first step. It is really hard for a predator to eat you if nobody can actually find you. So camouflage is an incredible first step. You guys can see he's got those beautiful different colors and the different stripes, and those are going to be helping him to blend in, and he doesn't even have to put in any effort. He just sits there, and he's a lot harder to find than a lizard would be if they were just one solid color. Stripes and spots help to break up their outline, makes it a lot harder for a predator to just scan for the general shape of a lizard. These guys instead look like they blend in more, which is awesome news for them. So that's what we would call passive camouflage, where they just sit there and their natural skin helps them to blend in. There is also something called active camouflage, where they are doing something to help hide themselves a little bit better. And these guys are experts at digging. Now, with those short little legs, they're not very good at much else. They're not good at climbing, or swimming, or jumping, or running. So their options kind of are walking and digging. So these guys are pretty decent diggers, and they will actually dig down into the ground, and they'll hide themselves in the dirt, which makes them even harder to find. So that's an excellent step 1 with camouflage, absolutely. Did anybody over here have any other adaptations they wanted to suggest? Yeah, what do you think? I love that you said that, okay. You said they could stick out their blue tongue to scare predators. That is totally their secret weapon, my friend. Because these guys do not have big scary claws or big scary teeth, if a predator finds them, we know they can't run away and they can't really defend themselves. So their best bet is to do something really scary and hope the predator leaves. Now, why on earth would sticking out his tongue be scary? Because people stick their tongue out at me sometimes and I'm still around. I'm not scared of running away. So why do we think that would be really, really scary to a predator? Yeah, go for it. Absolutely, because it's a different color and a different shape. I like that you mentioned shape. Can you guys stick your tongues out for me? Yeah, perfect. Our tongues look pretty cool. These guys take it way further, and they're actually able to stretch and wiggle their tongue. So it looks like this big, giant flower petal with all these weird little loops and curves. So it looks really weird, and it's a totally different color. And it's really surprising. Most predators don't really know what to do with that. But there's one more thing that is actually adding a layer to this. You guys see the colors on this poster behind me with all those animals with bright, crazy colors. That usually tells predators, hey, do not eat animals with bright colors, because it usually means they are poisonous or venomous. So this guy, he looks pretty dull, he's not super colorful. Most predators will say, hey, I think I can eat that guy. They'll run over, he will open up his mouth, spread out his weird tongue, and then they'll say, oh, this guy has bright colors, I don't think I should eat him anymore. Because usually bright colors means that if a predator eats that animal, they might get super sick or maybe even die, and most of the time, it's not worth it to a predator. Now that said, do you guys think the chorizo here is actually poisonous or venomous? No, he is totally harmless. So he is actually lying when he sticks out that tongue. He's bluffing right in the predator's face, and he's really hoping they don't know that. Now, unfortunately, sometimes predators are really smart. Sometimes they say, hey, I ate one of you guys last week, and I was fine. I think I can eat this guy. And they will go ahead and try it. Now, thankfully, as a last form of defense, because these guys are really slow, they have incredible armor. Now, all of our reptile friends have scales that are made up of keratin, or fingernail material. So you can feel your fingernails as a really nice, tough material. That's a great way for most reptiles to protect themselves. But these guys took it even further. So they have a nice thick layer of fingernail material, and then underneath that, they have something called osteoderm. And osteo means bone, derm means skin, and you put those together, and you have a suit of bone-plated armor. And that is really incredibly tough. That's one of the toughest types of armor out in nature. It's actually the same type of armor that crocodiles and alligators use. So you guys know how tough those guys are. This guy is just a teeny tiny, very not scary crocodile in terms of armor. So these guys are really, really tough, and it makes them way more work than most predators are willing to put in order to eat them. So thankfully, these guys are pretty well protected from most predators out there. Very good. Now sometimes these little guys come across humans, and humans in places like Indonesia and Australia have been taught to watch out for animals that are venomous and poisonous. There are quite a few snakes that could be considered a deadly level of venomous, and so unfortunately quite a few people will take a look at this little creature, he'll show off that tongue, and they believe that he is super venomous or super poisonous. And unfortunately, sometimes people do kill these guys to try and protect their families. So if you guys ever see an animal out in the wild and you're not too sure if it is venomous or poisonous, the best way to protect yourselves is just to step back and give that creature some space. These guys thankfully are not endangered, but they could become so, especially with things like habitat loss happening more frequently. Awesome. Alright, do you guys have any questions for me about our lizard friend here? Any questions at all? Yeah, go for it. Can you guys touch him? I love that question. You guys will be able to, if you are interested. We'll take a couple questions first, and then we will get to the touching segment. Very good, very good. Yeah. What do they eat? That's an excellent question. You guys saw how fast he moved, so you guys can guess. He is eating things like leaves and vegetables and fruits. That's a good speed of food for him. But these guys are actually omnivores, and they do eat some sources of protein. Well, as you guys can guess, they're not going to be hunting down the really fast bugs like spiders or crickets. Instead, they are going to be eating things like snails and slugs, caterpillars, worms. Those are all really good, slow creatures, and they love to snack on them. Absolutely. All right, do we have any questions for Lizard this way? Excellent. So, if you guys were interested, we have one last question. Yeah,
how old is he?
Go for it.
Oh, how old is he?
How old is he? Unfortunately, this little guy has not told me when his birthday is. He's being difficult.
Oh.
So it's really hard to guess with our reptile friends. He is a rescue. He used to be somebody's pet, and he was dropped off with us. They didn't want to care for him anymore. So we don't know how old he is. I do know that he is an adult. He's not a baby or a teenager. So I would guess he's probably at least 4 or 5 years old as a minimum. But he could be closer to 10, and he might even be closer to 15. These guys can live for around 20 or 25 years on average, and it's really impossible to guess once you don't know their birthday. Awesome. All right. So for the touching segment, if you guys could turn your listening ears on for me, we have some very important ground rules to make sure that chorizo here stays nice and comfortable. He is actually a very good communicator. He is very dramatic when he's not having a good time. He will hiss, and he will huff, and he will move around a whole lot. So if he turns out to have a bad mood, I will be able to tell, and we will just stop with our stuff for the day. But he's usually in a really great mood, and he does actually like hanging out with people. So as long as we stay nice to him, he should continue having a good time. So when you guys are touching our skink friend, do you guys think you need to use your whole entire hand to touch him? No, you guys just need one finger. We are giant creatures compared to him. Can you guys show me your lizard finger? They go perfect. And then with your lizard finger, do you think that we should be trying to touch on top of his head? Probably mean that. A lot of times that's really scary for most animals. Dogs and cats are weirdos in the animal kingdom. Most other creatures prefer on the back, nice and gentle, just like that. He's also told us that his little feet are ticklish, so we will just be touching on his back with our one finger. And then after you guys have touched an animal with your finger, are you going to put that finger in your mouth? No. What about your nose? No. What about your friend's nose? No. You guys are very bald. So we have some hand sanitizer right here. And if you guys want to be extra thorough, we do have some washrooms up at the top of the stairs in front or down behind us that way. You guys can wash with soap and water as well. Alright, if you guys want to, you can come on up, we'll start big lines right here. We'll push the line that way. And if you guys have any additional questions you thought of, please feel free to ask while we are up here. I think I also forgot to mention, you guys have the QR codes. Amazing. I volunteer team is on top of it today. If you guys wanted to give us some feedback on the show today and let us know what you thought and let us know what you learned, please feel free to fill out one of our online surveys. Our volunteer friends here have some QR codes you can scan. You guys could be entered for a chance to win a giant stingray plushie, which is pretty darn cool. Totally optional, but we would appreciate the feedback. All right, thank you so much, you guys. We will start.
Thank you very much.
Just the sanitizer. Just the sanitizer.
You need some help? I like your shirt, my friend. Love the dinosaurs. How was it? What did it feel like? It's tickling you. Oh, it's tickling you. Okay, once you have a little bit, can you just turn to the side so the next person can get some? How was it?
I don't know what the process is for volunteers. Do you capture any of this? There's ways to
Hello. How was it?
Good.
Pretty good.
This is just the survey.
Oh, is that for like the raffle?
Yeah. So if you like the show or if you didn't like the show, you can just let us know in the survey.
Okay, Mom, can we do that? Can we do the survey just to say if we like the show?
I'm not sure if it's distinguished. So that's filling this out, and then you're interested in it. Thank you for using that service. How was it?
They don't have
That I know of, but they do have sort of like a hard part Alright.
Okay.